Good afternoon, everyone. As Lisa just said, I'm Robert Graham. I'm the technical lead at Obsidian. That is not my Twitter handle, but I do go onto Twitter, but I would recommend you rather follow Obsidian. So there's our Twitter handle that you can follow us and what we're up to. So this afternoon, I'm going to just go through a small journey that Obsidian has gone through, how we got started with the Atlassian products, and where are we today. So how it all started about 6 years ago, and at that time, we were just looking for something to make documentation and collaboration easier. So my esteemed colleague, Cole, that you all met earlier today, he suggested, let's look at Confluence. And we were all like, what is Confluence? At that point in time, we were using things like email, post-it notes, shared folders, tribal knowledge to know what's going on with our clients and to know how we log on and do things. And then we decided we need to come up with a better way, because using Wikipedia or Wikimedia, something like that, it's very challenging to use, especially for someone that doesn't have any HTML background. And I don't know if any one of you ever worked with MediaWiki. Tried to create a table is a nightmare. So in comes Confluence. So what we do is we import our whole MediaWiki into Confluence, and wham, bam, everything is there. So we can start to test and play with that and see what we can do. Creating tables is easy. You can add code to it, everything. So what do we do? So we start to implement Confluence in the organization. But we start with the operational guys, the most difficult guys to convince to use something sometimes. So they like their tools, they like to stick to what they know. So bringing something new is quite a challenge. So we tested with them, they were happy. They could document, they could add code, everything. So these guys started to document everything. And we went operational with Confluence, and that's, we decided, okay, what can we do with this? So we started to create templates and all that, so that we can standardize on the look and feel of our pages. And this made just things easier, because now you can just say, create from which template, and there you have your page. You don't have to think, what do I have to add? Do I need to do this or that? So everything is there for you. And so the guys got really excited, and today Confluence is used right through our whole organization, from HR, sales, our operations, and so on. Right, so this is basically our reaction after we started to use Confluence. I don't know if anyone had seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. So, and then we started to look at the other Atlassian tools. What can we use? What is available? So the next one we jumped to was Jira. Also, as I mentioned at that time, before Jira, we used email to communicate with our clients. Now, as you all know, email is very difficult to keep track of things. And we needed something that is centralized, something that you can log into one pane and look at what projects are you busy with, what's happening with this project, what is the state of a project. And the thing is with Jira, it's all in one place. You can build nice dashboards, so each person can have their own dashboard, or you can have team dashboards. So each one of them can see, hey, this is what's happening. This client needs attention urgently. So what we've also done then is we've added SLAs to all our clients' tickets. So when a ticket comes in, depending on what type of support they have with us, whether it's a bronze, silver, or gold, that SLA will kick in the moment the ticket is created, and we try to keep to those SLAs. Normally our guys are very, very proactive, and it's very seldom that we do get close to the expiring date or time of our tickets SLAs. Some other things we later on started to implement was Tempo Planner. With Tempo Planner, I don't know if anyone here in the room is using that. So it's a nice tool that integrates with your Jira. So our consultants can go on site and they can use a mobile app to say, start progress. Once they're done, they say end progress. It logs it against the ticket for that project, and they don't have to worry about logging their time at the end of the month. So this is nice because technical guys are not good at writing things down that they've done or how long they've been at a client and so on. So this made the life easier for our people doing the billing at the end of the month. So now they can do a nice billing run, and they can see how long our consultants has been at a client. So then we also started to look at other products. We started to say, okay, Bitbucket. Hey, we don't have to just put our code and scripts in Confluence anymore. We can actually version control it and put it into Bitbucket. So some of the guys were already using Git, but mostly on private projects or on your own machine. But now we started to use Bitbucket. We can have a place where we can back it up. We have a place where everyone can contribute to your code. And also, we took away that thing of like, oh, where's that script that I wrote to do this? Oh, can you quickly copy it to this USB or email it to me? Now, all you have to do is, here's the link to the project or the repository in Bitbucket, and the other person can just clone that repository and they have the code with them. Doesn't matter where they are. Because I don't know if you've tried to email like WAR files or scripts. Most email servers try to block that. All right. Another thing we started to use was Bamboo, and Cole did explain to you how we're actually using that with our Chef and all those other tools to do continuous testing. So I'm not going to elaborate on that. And finally, the other one, I would say the stepchild is Crowd. I don't know who else uses Crowd here, but we use it for central authentication. And it makes our life so much easier for on and offboarding of new personnel. So if someone joins the organization and they need access to certain projects or applications, it can be done in a central place. You don't have to go and do it in each application. So I'm very looking forward to this new product, that the new Atlassian Access that they're launching. So looking to see how we can integrate that as well. And so now we started to use all these products and we integrated them all together. So the Jira is working with Confluence, with Bitbucket. Crowd is doing our authentication, our user management and all that. So, but what else could we do with this as well? So we looked at our organization and said, okay, we get calls every day. We get emails from clients. How can we get that information into our Jira? So we started with our telephone. So fortunately, we use the open source Asterisk PBX. So we're in control of that, so we can manage that. So the first thing we started is, okay, if a call comes in, we created a call file, and then that will trigger a ticket that will be created in Jira. So the person answering the call don't have to say open Jira or be in Jira and try to create a ticket, find a project and all that. So when a call comes in, it will actually create a ticket automatically, and it will add the number from the person that called. So the person managing that call can start to fill in the details, or after the call they can just update the details of that call and then submit it into Jira and then assign it to the relevant person. So we made it more productive. Then the second thing we started to do is, okay, we also have clients that have standby with us. So each client has their own individual telephone number they can call us for support. This is for our silver and gold retainer clients. And what we did there is, ticket systems work very well when there's peace. But the moment there's war, it's very difficult, you have to be all over the place. So there's no time to create tickets and all that when the proverbial pawpaw hits the fan. So you need to be able to have that information available. So what happens is, if a call comes in, the person on standby will get an SMS to say, okay, this client has called, and they will get the call as well. But in the background, we will create a ticket for them in Jira against that client. So they don't have to run around and see how, create a ticket and all that. So they can write everything down and then afterwards create it, update the ticket as needed. Right, so these are some of the integrations we've done. I've already spoken about the PBX. Emails. So some of our clients, they still use traditional ways of communicating with us, so they like emails. So what we've done is we've integrated our email system with Jira. So if a client sends an email to us, it also automatically creates a ticket for us in Jira. Now this gives also our consultants opportunity, so when they reply to a client, so it will update with comments in the ticket as well. And once they've done, they can just close the ticket so they don't have to go and write all the details afterwards. Our monitoring system, we currently use Asinga as well as Datadog for our monitoring, and we have incorporated that as well. So what happens is, again, for the clients that we look after, an alert gets generated, this space is full, a service is not available. This will trigger also in a Jira alert, a ticket, and then it will tell you exactly what happened. It will lock against that specific component. So that component would be, say, the web server of client A, or an Atlassian server for client B. So then, again, the person on standby will get that ticket, and then they can actually work on it. Another thing we've done is we've incorporated Slack. A couple of years ago when we started, we actually used HipChat, but since then we have moved over to Slack as well. Now, what happens is when a ticket gets created for our person on standby, it will also drop into a Slack room. This is the ticket details, so they can just click on the link and it will take them to Jira, so they can just carry on with their work. So they don't have to go and search and find things. All right. Configuration management, that's what Carl was talking about, how we use Bamboo and Bitbucket, and how to do continuous integration. Another thing we do is any changes that we make to, say, that SSH config that Carl was talking about, that also gets raised in our Slack room. So once anyone submits code to, or upload code to our Bitbucket server, this thing gets alerted in our room to say, hey, this person has made this change. So everyone is aware that this change has happened. So the whole idea is to make everything more observable so that people can see what's going on in the organization. You don't have to ask questions the whole time. You can actually just live in your Jira, Confluence, and your Slack rooms, and you can see what's happening. All right. So that is the gist of how we got started and where are we today. From 6 years ago, we also started a new division, and that is where Lisa's team is today. So thanks to just a question to say, we need to look at something different to do documentation. We have a total new business unit today that look after you, all the clients out there that help you to build these nice portfolio dashboards, all the Jira dashboards and all those things. And it's fantastic to see how one decision is made, when one decision was made, a whole organization has grown from there. And what I would like to do now is I'm going to try to do a quick demo for you, just to show you how when we do alert on our monitoring system, how it will actually trigger a message to Slack, and then from there on, how we can get into Jira from there. So just hold on for a second for me. Just want to get this over. Okay, so that is our monitoring system, and currently this is Isinga. I'm busy monitoring our Dev Atlassian system. So hopefully no one will mind when we actually stop access to the server. And I just want to quickly get to... So I just want to quickly stop the service. So you can just keep an eye on the two statuses. There's a Jira status and a Confluence status. In this case, both are running on the same server. I would not recommend that for production. So, but in a dev instance, this is okay. So I just want to stop it quickly. Okay, is it running? Right, so it should be stopped. So what I'll do now is, just want to see if I can see what I'm doing. Okay, I need to get to the refresh button there. So within a few seconds, it should be able to start to check. But let's go to, say, the Confluence status. And I just need to force a check here, then it will actually start to check more often. So check where that is. Okay, so you'll see there, suddenly the first strike. So with most monitoring systems, we work on 3 strikes, then you're out. So the first strike, it says, okay, something went wrong. So if this recovers, no ticket will be sent out, but obviously we're not talking about monitoring systems here. So what I'll do is I'm going to force a check and see if we can get it to go through quicker. So looking for the check now option there. some reason I don't see it. Okay, right, so you can see now Jira is also complaining. So what I'll do is from this side, I'm just going to force a few checks. So you'll see it should go up to strike 2 now, and hopefully strike 3. Right, so it tells us that it's been down for a minute. Now what we've also built in is a 5-minute rule to say, wait 5 minutes before we start to send out alerts, because we do get a lot of alerts that triggers, and then it recovers by itself within 5 minutes. So I'll need to entertain you for 5 minutes. Maybe Cole can come up and sing for us something, if you want. Yeah. Right, so what I'll do is I'll share with you the Slack channel. What I've done is I just created the demo channel because I don't want to show you the whole operational channel because there's a lot of information there that you probably don't want to see. So yeah, Cole will entertain you for the next 5 minutes with some memes. So just to go over the whole process is we have now a consultant that's on standby. And once this triggers, they will get the SMS and they will also get the link to in the room to where the ticket is. If it's a client that calls, they will also get an SMS with the details from the client that called, as well as a ticket that's created for them. And then obviously in a few seconds, their phone will ring and then they can assist the client. Okay. So while we wait, do you guys have any questions so long? Anything? Yes? Yeah, so we use a plugin called GMH. So it will actually check for the subject, and it will just keep on adding to that specific ticket instead of creating new tickets. The moment they change the subject, it will obviously create a new ticket. Any other questions? I should have disabled the 5-minute rule. It's almost like the 5-second rule, but it's just a little bit longer. So for the backend integration, we use a tool called, I don't know if you guys heard of Bob Swift scripts and that. Very nice if you have to run scripts like normal bash scripts, or even on Windows you can use it for some batch script. So that you can actually integrate, it does some API calls to your Jira, Confluence, Bitbucket, Bamboo, and all those. So you can use those tools. It's a very nice tool suite to use. Come on, there's only a few seconds left. So then we'll see if it will update. And we've been using this now for a couple of years, and I think the guys really like the fact that you don't have to be in too many systems. You can be in one system and get to what you need to do. All right, so in theory, you should have created a ticket now. Apologies for the delay. Okay, the intertubes are very slow. Right. Okay, there we go. So now you'll see, okay, stop call. All right. So you'll see it says it created the ticket issue Obsidian-6236, and it will say conference status on that server is critical. Now obviously it will create one for, so on that server, so we'll have one for Jira as well in a few minutes or a few seconds as well. So all the consultant has to do is click on this URL and it will take them to the specific ticket. And then they can actually start to do work on it and either put it in pending. But let me show you, see if it will open. Okay. Let me just move that over there as well for you. So you can see there's the actual ticket that's been created. And here at the bottom, our SLA is busy ticking off. And you can see it's on a bronze SLA. So the moment they start to work on this ticket, the SLA will actually pause until we wait for feedback from the client and so on. And then they can close it. And then once you close it, you should be able to get another update on Slack. So that's basically how we use the Atlassian products. And I hope this has been informative for you guys. Thank you very much.